to Auschwitz. So we went in Auschwitz, and it's very difficult. In December, Auschwitz is in Poland, Auschwitz and Birkenau, they're very close next to each other. And that's in Poland, and it's very cold. In December, the Russian came close, because the Russian was fighting them, the British and the American. So in Auschwitz and Poland, the Russian came close. They didn't want us to get free. So they took, it's called a death march. Did you ever hear about the death march? We walked in 5. In December is very cold snow. We didn't have socks, no coats, hungry, all young. In 5, like soldiers, and surrounded with SS, with rifles and German Shepherd. Anybody who couldn't keep up, they shot them. I still could hear their voice, please don't kill me, I want to live. It never goes away. They left them on the street. What happened to them, I don't know. But in Auschwitz, they have a barrack. I was twice in Auschwitz because my brother-in-law is Polish, so once I went with a friend and her son, and the second time I went with my sister and her husband, he wanted to go back. The building where they made the experiment is completely sealed off. Nobody could go in. And I asked people why, but then I have an answer. I said it's full of blood, screams, so it's sealed off. Nobody could go in. A lot of people come from all over the world. They took off human skin, they made lampshades, they still have them. I think they have some in the United States too, they have in Israel. The picture frames. They took out different organs, they opened up the skull. You could see that in Washington when you go. There is on top a place that they have DVDs or what you would call them. You could see how they did some experiment. Nobody stopped them. They could do anything they wanted. When they wanted a person to cut them in peace, especially children, they did so much unbelievable what they did to innocent people who didn't deserve that. So we walked, and after a few days, I don't remember how long we walked. We stopped in a stable and they gave us some food. At that time, next morning, they put us in an open cargo train. So the daytime was raining, so our clothes got wet, and at night it froze, so a lot of people died there. We arrived to Bergen-Belsen. Bergen-Belsen, that's in Germany. Bergen-Belsen didn't have crematorium. They put us in a room. It didn't have tiles and no carpet, just soil in the 4 walls. They pushed in so many people that when we lay down on the floor, one on top of each other, because there was no place. After a short time, we had once in 2 days, we got a slice of bread and a little black coffee. Never a shower, full of dirt. So after a short time, life and death were together, and we didn't even look like human, we were skeleton. You walked outside, people were falling down, dying. Outside they had a pile of people, dead people, like a building piled up, because people were dying from hunger and disease. My sister was in a different camp. She's younger. When she would meet me, she would never survive. And she had an SS, a German woman, and she liked her, and she gave her extra food, and she said, well, otherwise she wouldn't be around. And she said to her, nobody's alive, the whole family was killed. She said, and I will adopt you after the war. But the war, I don't know if she got killed or she ran away, I don't know what. My sister was next to me, and she said, "Do not, my sister." She didn't. I was a skeleton. I couldn't even walk. And I persuaded her that I'm her sister.
How were you able to see her?
I was on the floor with dead people. She came in and was looking for me. And she didn't recognize me because I was skin and bone. Imagine having a wish just to have enough bread and water.
Mm-hmm.
We never had a shower, never laying dead and people, and not even enough place to lay down. We lived one on top of each other. So I persuaded her, so she realized. She took me out from there, and she had a barrack, a clean barrack, because she came from a Viking camp and had food. So she started to take care of me, and I came a little bit, stronger, that she fed me. In April the 15th, 1945, the British freed us. And then they cleaned us up. They took us out from that camp, and they put us in a school. At that time, I felt a little bit stronger, and when I was growing up, I wanted to be in the medical field. And he asked me, Doctor, why? I said, to help people, to make people. That was my dream, but I never had a chance. And I was working with the people who were sick. I tried to help them. And my bed was next to my sister because she had typhus. One morning, the nurse comes and checks my temperature, and she said, don't move. But I didn't feel good, but I didn't want to tell nobody that, like needles on my side, terrible pain. And they found out I had fluid in my lung. So after doctors come from all over because they never saw so many diseases and skeletons, so they took us to Sweden. Sweden was very nice. They treated us, they felt sorry, young teenagers, nobody in the wall, alone. And I was in a sanatorium, and the water got better, then I was working there. But we didn't want to stay in Israel, in Sweden. We wanted to go to Palestine. And we couldn't because it wouldn't be legal. So we made papers from Sweden that we're going to Cuba, but we knew that we were going to Palestine, but we couldn't tell them that. So middle of the Atlantic Ocean, there was a boat or ship, a small one, that it was closed up. It was a cargo ship, not a regular ship. So they didn't see any people. And I don't know, but they realized that we were close to Haifa. Haifa is a city in Israel. So they came with ships and were fighting, and we didn't want to give in. Because we were already almost in the city. But then they threw tear bombs, and we didn't have a choice. They took us to Cyprus. Did you ever hear about Cyprus? Cyprus is where the British had a military camp. That's the way they put us. Every month, they allowed a certain amount of people to get in. I came into Palestine in 1948 beginning. The British were there, a war was there, full of blood, and bombs were falling. But after a short time, we had independence. So we were happy that we have a country, it belongs to us, and they can't do what they did. My mother had two brothers there before the war, and I got married in Israel.